Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Our cold front has arrived. That means a chance of thunderstorms, especially in our southern counties. I'll show you who could see severe storms and what to expect where you are.
I-540 crash overnight. The interstate reopened after a crash that killed a person. New details we are working on to confirm about that crash that delayed the evening commute for hours.
And one more week. New tariffs that were scheduled to take effect today will go into place August 7th. How economic uncertainty could affect the prices that you pay. Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome in. August 1st, we made it to August. And we made it to Friday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. It's good to have you here. Yeah, August 1st, we turn the page on the calendar and on this weather system.
Yes.
Ooh, this feels good out there. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Talking about that risk, though, that still remains.
So the cold front has moved into our area. It's going to stall to our south today. So our southern counties, so parts of Chatham County all the way down to the southern part of Sampson County, including the Sandhills. That's where we'd have the best chance of any severe storms. Lots of heavy rain potential. We have a lot of moisture still in the atmosphere. A couple little tiny cells out there right now. One of those north of Dunn, sort of west of Benson, and another moving over towards Siler City right now. Those are tiny little things. Most of us are probably not going to see much rain this morning, but 20% chance in there to sort of cover the bases. And then for the Triangle area, probably not going to see that much rain for today, but our southern counties could see some heavy downpours and the potential for some isolated wind damage. It is fairly cloudy this morning, and our dew point still 73. Our temperature is still 76. That cold front, though, will start to move southward. We're going to keep it out of the triple digits today in terms of the heat index, but not by much, around 99. But our high will be around 88, and we do have a drop in humidity coming for the weekend. I'll show you what it will feel like coming up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Breaking this morning, crews worked to put out a pickup truck that was on fire in Durham. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on the scene just before 4 this morning off of Miami Boulevard. Police stayed on scene after that fire was put out. We are working to learn more about if anybody was hurt and what led to that fire.
I-540 is back open this morning after a crash killed a person last night. Sky 5 was over that scene, and our team was on the ground as crews investigated and cleaned up. One person was killed in the crash right near Leesville Road. We are working to learn what caused this crash and if anyone else was injured. Delays extended from Briar Creek Parkway east to Creedmoor Road during the evening commute.
A suspect is in custody this morning, accused of shooting and killing one person while injuring a teen on a fishing pier in the Outer Banks. It happened yesterday afternoon at the Avalon Fishing Pier in Kill Devil Hills. The father of a 15-year-old boy says his son is in critical condition after being shot in the thigh. He says the boy was airlifted to the hospital. Police say the suspect was arrested in Southern Shores.
We're getting some big developments from D.C. on President Donald Trump's tariff plans. The vast majority of tariffs, which were supposed to go into effect today, were pushed back another week. Tariffs on 90 more countries were announced in an executive order signed last night. Some notable exceptions to the deadline include Canada with a 35% tariff in effect today, and Mexico, which will have 25% tariffs on specific items that will go into effect in 90 days unless an agreement is made. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at Harris Teeter in Cary this morning. And Kelsey, you spoke to an economist about how these large economic changes could affect our day-to-day grocery store spending.
Yes, Jeff, sweeping tariffs were set to go into effect at midnight, but now President Trump has moved back that deadline, like how you just mentioned. So now the impact that we see on prices here at the grocery store may be a little bit delayed. So we spoke with economist Elizabeth Pancotti about which products may have higher price tags due to tariffs. She says no items are off this list.
It is going to be all consumer goods, from something as small as a banana. You know, there are steep tariffs on Brazil. Bananas and coffees are primarily imported. From there, all the way up to something as expensive as a car or a big industrial tractor or a factory machine.
Pencotti says prices for shoes and backpacks could also go up, but those increases may not happen until after back to school season is over. Now, even though these new tariffs are set to go into effect in less than a week, people may not notice changes in prices until next month or maybe even as late as December. And that new tariff deadline is set for next Thursday, August 7th. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Republican National Committee Chairman Michael Whatley has officially entered the U.S. Senate race in North Carolina. Whatley is the former chairman of the state GOP. He was President Donald Trump's choice as the Republican candidate, even though that he had never run for office before. Whatley's announcement brings the number of Republican candidates in the race to 3. Republicans Don Brown and Andy Nilsen are also running. The winner will likely take on former Governor Roy Cooper in next year's election. And Cooper announced Monday that he would enter the race. Our NC Capitol team has a full assessment of Cooper, Whatley, and the other candidates. You'll find their complete coverage on WRAL.com and the WRAL News app.
Several people are without a home after fire destroyed their townhouses in Chapel Hill. This happened just before 6 p.m. yesterday on Kirkwood Drive. 2 units were damaged. Firefighters say no one was home at the time. So far, no word on what caused the fire. The Red Cross is helping those people affected by the fire.
Raleigh police have a suspect in custody after a bank robbery in the Village District. Police say the man walked into the Truist Bank on Oberlin Road around 11:45 yesterday and passed a note to a teller demanding money. The teller handed over the cash and the man took off. Nobody was hurt. Police say the Highway Patrol is helping to bring the suspect back to Wake County for questioning.
Nash County hopes to have an announcement soon about when its animal shelter can reopen. The Pet Connection Center is currently closed for adoptions and surrenders. Last week, the shelter was fined $9,100 after it failed an inspection. It was the second fine in 2 months related to animal welfare conditions.
People hit hardest by last month's flooding in Kerrville, Texas, share their emotional stories of loss.
The river that we've loved so much killed them. I'm sorry.
We climbed into cedar trees and I had to help my 66-year-old mom.
And they spoke at a hearing yesterday to go over the emergency response. More than 130 people were killed in the floods. Texas state officials grilled local leaders. They pointed out one top county official was out of town when that flooding happened.
Everyone was here that day working their off, and you were nowhere to be found.
2 other key officials admitted they were asleep when the floodwaters began to rapidly rise.
Devastation in Maryland after slow-moving heavy rains led to serious flooding. Maryland officials say a boy died there in that flash flood. Fire crews say he was playing in a grassy area when the stormwater came rushing down a hill. His body was later found in a retention pond. Elsewhere in Maryland, 2 kids were rescued from a car caught in that flooding. You can see the water level up over the tires of that SUV. Officials in Baltimore are now activating emergency operations centers to streamline their response.
Childhood vaccination rates have dropped again. That's according to new data released by the CDC. The agency reported that nearly 4% of U.S. kindergartners had an exemption for a required vaccination last school year. According to the report, coverage for all vaccines, including the measles, was lower than the years before. Because of those exemptions, about 138,000 new students went without one state-mandated vaccine.
The FDA is making major changes to warning labels on prescription painkillers. Opioid medications will now carry stronger safety labels that better reflect the risk of long-term use. The updated labels will now include new warnings about dosage-related risks and withdrawal and overdose reversal drugs as well. They'll also highlight potential interactions with nerve medications as well as rare but serious risks like brain injury after an overdose.
Today, Clayton Police and fire departments will come together to create trauma kits for children in crisis. Kits for Kids gives first responders special tools designed to help them interact with traumatized children during emergency calls. Officers, firefighters, and organization founders, they will assemble 300 kits today at the Walmart on Town Center Boulevard. First responders will then be able to use the kits during different calls to help children in distress.
A Durham neighborhood is on the lookout after reports of people and pets being bitten by a fox. This happened in the Carolina Arbors neighborhood. According to the sheriff's office, there have been 3 reports of fox attacks. A neighborhood safety group says several more people are reporting scary run-ins with the fox. WRAL sat down with one family who had to fight to get the fox off their dog.
Jumped on it. I must have been screaming. I was kicking it, jumping on it, stomping on it. And I realized, as I was doing that, I realized it was actually attached to her harness and not to her neck. So then I gave it a huge kick and finally it got off.
A neighborhood has set up traps now to catch the fox. If you happen to run into a fox, the sheriff's office asks that you call animal control.
Happening today, the Raleigh Police Department is holding its last edition of Raleigh Hoop Nights. Tonight's Hoop Night is happening at Green Road Park from 7 to 9. The event gives Raleigh kids and teens the chance to connect with officers and play a game of basketball in a safe environment. You can register for Hoop Nights on the city's website. Coming up, intent to kill. The man accused of setting a Virginia councilman on fire makes his first court appearance. What court documents reveal about his admission to that attack?
Banking on ball. UNC Chapel Hill is making budget cuts, but not to sports spending. How the school's athletics investments have grown through the years.
And the rain will bring some cooler weather. This is a live look at Zebulon this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show us when we can expect some relief in the forecast.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
444 dual Doppler 5000 radar showing a couple of little tiny spots where we have a little rain coming down eastern Harnett County and western Chatham County. We shouldn't see a whole lot of rain this morning, but this afternoon, mainly in our southern counties is where we'll see some showers and thunderstorms. We could see them anywhere. We still have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so whatever comes down today will be heavy. And the potential for wind damage stretches from Clinton through Fayetteville to Sanford, Siler City, and back through southern Pine. So our southern and southwestern counties would have the best chance of any wind damage. 20% chance of rain up until lunchtime, later this afternoon and this evening. It's about a 40% chance, so it could affect your evening plans. I'll walk you through Futurecast in just a few minutes. We do have the top of the tower lit in green for that potential for some rain later on this afternoon and this evening. And our temperatures are warm and it's still muggy. 75 in Wilson, 76 Durham, 75 in Fayetteville. But I'll show you when our humidity begins to drop coming up.
The man accused of setting a Virginia city councilman on fire is expected to make his next court appearance in September. Shotzi Hayes appeared in court for the first time yesterday. Hayes faces an attempted murder charge in Danville, about an hour and a half north of Raleigh. Court documents claim he admitted to his role in the attack. They say he told police he doused City Councilman Lee Vogler in gas and then lit him on fire with the intent to kill him. City Councilman Lawrence Campbell reacted to that shocking crime.
He's a hard worker. I remember when I first met Lee, we had a food program at our church, and he came over to speak running, and I got to know him. I want our citizens to pray for a man who loves his community.
Investigators say the attack is not politically motivated and stems from some sort of personal matter.
A possible fix to complaints of long wait times at a DMV in Wake County. A spending plan passed by state lawmakers this week funds a larger DMV site in Fuquay-Varina. The plan also calls for new DMVs in Brunswick, Cabarrus, and Sampson counties. Governor Josh Stein can approve the spending plan, veto it, or let it become law without a signature.
Starting today, millions of people with student loans will see their balance go up. A policy change from the Trump administration means people enrolled in the SAVE plan will have interest added to their balance. Legal challenges paused payments and froze the interest. The Education Department says people can still apply for lenience if they would like to delay monthly payments.
An unprecedented era. That's how UNC Chancellor Lee Roberts describes the current state of college athletics. He spoke with WRAL after yesterday's Board of Trustees meeting. Wednesday, UNC announced it was finding ways to cut costs to the tune of $70 million. The tightening of the belt comes as the school's athletic budget continues to grow. For example, Bill Belichick's $10 million salary. Roberts says the revenue comes from different places.
The revenues for football come from sources that aren't available for other university priorities. We can't take money from the ACC television contract and spend it on the chemistry department.
UNC home football games are already sold out. The athletic department is expected to spend $185 million this year. And spending on the UNC football program has increased dramatically over the past few years. Back in 2017, the program spent $21.8 million. By 2021, that figure was $34.4 million. And last year, it was $44.7 million. As we mentioned, the program is projected to spend $185.4 million in the 2025-26 fiscal year. Nearly all of the revenue comes from television rights, sponsorships, ticket sales, and donations.
We've had quite a stretch of hot weather, and you hear the experts all the time say to take it easy in this heat. State numbers back that up now. Emergency rooms saw more than 3,300 people between May and mid-July. It's the highest number in the last 5 years. ER saw an average of 1,600 people in that same time period. The last 4 years, less than half. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. So we're glad we've made that turn to the new month and maybe a new pattern coming through for us, right?
Exactly. Right at the same time. We typically, consider August to be, one of our hotter months, but typically July is the hottest, but August tends to be pretty hot as well. We do have the potential for some severe storms in our southern and western counties for today. Damaging winds, gusts are possible. Heavy rainfall. We're going to see a lot of downpours with this. So much moisture still in the atmosphere. The flood threat and the potential for severe storms, mostly in the Sandhills, our southern and western counties will be most affected. Right there in Siler City, you're seeing a little shower roll through. That's almost dissipated. And there in the eastern part of Harnett County, same story. Just teeny little cells that have popped up, but those are dissipating. I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot of that this morning, but with the amount of moisture in the atmosphere and our cold front in place, we could see a few of those pop up here and there. Now, this is lunchtime. And once we take it out to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we see some of those cells developing down south. Now, it's not to say that they won't develop in the triangle or northward. Notice Futurecast does show a few of those, but it's just likely that we'll see more of those in the south, a better chance of heavier rain, and closer to the front down here is where we'll have the best chance of some wind damage. Here's 9 o'clock, and you can see fairly widespread rain, but it's a little heavier down to the south. For today, this is a look at the outline of our level 1 risk, Siler City to Sanford to Southern Pines to Fayetteville to Clinton. And then again, other folks may see some heavy rainfall and some gusty winds, but it's more likely to be severe in the south. This morning, our skies are cloudy and it's still warm and sticky. We haven't seen that drier air appear just yet. So our dew point's at 73 and our temperatures at 76. But watch what happens as we get through the day today. We see that cold front sliding to the coast. It moves southward and the green shaded area is where it's humid. Notice as we get into Saturday and Sunday, the southern part of the state remains fairly humid, but from the triangle area southward, we get a nice break in our humidity. It's going to drop down to tolerable from tropical. So we're going to see it dropping 2 different levels, which is great. Temperatures drop too. Today, 88, 82 Saturday, and 84 on Sunday. Today's still going to feel pretty warm and sticky, but again, a nice break over the weekend. We do get back into a chance of storms again by the middle of next week.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Celebrating summer interns, local high schoolers were able to learn at Lenovo the biggest takeaways from their network experience.
Rediscovering a classic, 1988's Naked Gun, topping the streaming charts. How the new film has sparked interest in the original.
Lenovo is celebrating the next generation of software engineers. 31 local high school students spent the past 6 weeks interning for the company. A celebration yesterday showcased what they've done and the work they've done while working at Lenovo.
Really, truly an amazing experience that me and my partner, Tarana, we were able to create something that's impactful for Lenovo.
And the students were embedded in different divisions of the company, giving them a unique exposure to this field of work.
It's going to be a big weekend on the small screen. A fan favorite TV series is back for a 21st season, and Hallmark prepares a 3-part book move to movie debut. David Daniel has that in today's Hollywood Minute.
We're talking millions and millions of pounds of crab, billions of dollars.
I'm grabbing my gear and I'm heading up there.
One moment it's heaven, the next moment, hell.
Deadliest Catch is back. Longtime Captain Sig Hansen says it's as exciting and dangerous as ever.
Every time you go fishing, it's always a new experience. You know, you can never predict what's going to happen. And that's why I think, the fans that have been watching this show for the last 20 plus years, I think that's why they get into it. They dig it because of that.
Season 21 of Deadliest Catch premieres today on Discovery Channel.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr.
The new Naked Gun movie is sparking interest in the original. 1988's The Naked Gun, starring Leslie Nielsen, has risen to the top of the daily streaming chart as measured by the streaming guide Just Watch.
This isn't my castle.
The Providence Falls book trilogy is now a trio of movies. Katie Stevens and Lachlan Quarmby star as the couple whose love transcends time. The three-part special event premieres Saturday on Hallmark Channel. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I let you go.
Starting today, we are teaming up to make tails wag and hearts happy. Clear the Shelters is back from August 1st through the 31st. It's giving thousands of pets a second chance at a loving home. From playful pups to cuddly cats, your new companion is waiting for you. For a full list of participating shelters, special adoption events, and how you can help give a pet a second chance, visit WRAL.com/shelters.
4:57 right now on a Friday morning. Coming up at 5, a man was killed and a teen hurt after a shooting in the Outer Banks. What we're learning about capturing that shooter.
And tariff deadline pushed. Tariffs that would have gone into effect today are delayed another week. The new tariff announcements from President Donald Trump.
Accused of peeping, a Raleigh contractor is back on the street this morning facing serious charges. The court records say that he was looked into a woman's window at night.